Hello，嗱，我哋今日咧睇一段片，叫做咩咧？10個 greatest player to never won a championship， 即係未贏過冠軍，未贏過 NBA 冠軍最好嘅球員。OK， 我哋即刻睇下，把握時間。
That every or most NBA players share is winning an NBA championship, making it through the regular season, into the playoffs, and then winning the NBA Finals, and getting to celebrate with all their teammates and coaches for all their hard work finally paying off, and then getting to spend the offseason calling themselves a champion. But no matter how good a player is, only one team wins the championship every year, which means there's a lot of players that never got to experience that or win a ring of their own. And we're about to look at 10 of them. But first, shout out to the honorable mentions that didn't make the list. Carmelo Anthony, Grant Hill, Vince Carter, Reggie Miller, Pistol Pete, and Chris Webber. Now onto the list. Starting with number 10, George Gervin. Gervin's one of the NBA's all-time great scorers. In the 70s, he led the league in scoring 4 times in 5 years, with him averaging over 33 points a game in his best season. And he finished his NBA career off averaging 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. He started his entire career out in the ABA on the San Antonio Spurs. And eventually he ended up in the NBA when the ABA-NBA merger happened. And made the NBA All-Star Game 9 times out of his 10 years in the league. He could never lead his team to an NBA Finals appearance. Number 9, Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady, OK， 我同意嘅。
Greatest shooting guards the NBA has ever seen. And he had one of the most complete overall games that we've ever seen from a shooting guard. In his best season, he averaged 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. He was a 7-time All-Star, a 2-time scoring champion, and a 2-time member of the All-NBA first team. But even though Tracy McGrady was such a great player on the court, his career goes to show that not everyone can have the perfect career. He was one of the league's top players, but he never made it past the second round in the playoffs, except for on the Spurs, which doesn't count. And his time as a top player was really cut short because of all of his injuries. He was in his prime in Orlando, but he never had a good team to help him out in the playoffs. So his only real chance at a deep run in the playoffs was his time in Houston, when he was teamed up with Yao Ming. And that was a great team and all, but we're talking about 2 of the greatest careers ended and really affected by injuries. At least one of those guys was always injured at some point, so things never really worked out, leaving Tracy to being one of the greatest players to never win a championship or make it out of the second round in the playoffs. Number 8, Dominique Wilkins.
OK， Dominique Wilkins 絕對係。
Dominique will always be known for his insane in-game dunks and his dunk contest battles with Michael Jordan. But he was still a lot more than that. He's still, to this day, the Hawks' all-time leading scorer.
係啊，佢嘅得分能力都好強啊。
Time All-Star and a scoring champion. He averaged over 30 points a game twice in his career. But being a guy that played in the Eastern Conference in the 80s and 90s, his great scoring ability and his highlight dunks weren't ever enough to help him pass the Celtics or the 90s.
Oh my god.
A guy that played in the Eastern Conference in the 80s and 90s, his great scoring ability and his highlight dunks weren't ever enough to help him pass the 80s Celtics or the 90s Bulls. He's still a Hall of Famer, but he never made it past the second round in the playoffs, which is why he landed number 8 on this list. Number 7, Patrick Ewing. Ewing is definitely one of the all-time NBA greats and one of the best centers in league history. And it started when he was taken first overall in the 1985 NBA draft. But like Dominique, Ewing was a guy that was a victim of having some of his best years during the Michael Jordan era. He helped lead the Knicks to the best record in the East one of those seasons with a 60-22 record. He was a member of the Dream Team, had a season averaging 28 and 10, and had 9 total seasons averaging at least 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. He could never get past Jordan and the Bulls, but when Jordan retired for the first time, Patrick Ewing knew that was his chance. And it definitely was, because he had finally led the Knicks to the finals that season. But it wasn't an easy path. In the second round, the Knicks beat the Bulls without Michael Jordan in 7 games. And then it took them 7 games to beat Reggie Miller and the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. So by the time they got to the finals, they were pretty much exhausted, but they had to keep going. Because they had to play Hakeem and the Rockets. And then when that series went to 7 games too, the Rockets ended up winning. But like I said, that was Patrick Ewing and the Knicks' best chance of winning a championship. But they just couldn't get it done. but his career as a whole is definitely what earned him a spot on this list. Number 6,
Okay.
Chris Paul, and we'll throw James Harden in with this one. Because at this point in their careers, if they're winning a championship, it's probably going to be together. As I'm recording this video, they still got a chance to win a ring this season, and not even belong on this list in a month. So we'll have to see. But as for now, we'll mainly focus on Chris Paul since he's had the longer career as a star.
Wow.
For a long time, he was definitely the best point guard in the league. Throughout his career, he's been a 9-time All-Star, a 4-time member of the All-NBA First Team, a 7-time member of the All-Defensive First Team, a 4-time assist leader, and a 6-time leader in steals.
Chris Paul 絕對係 NBA 史上頭6嘅控衞，絕對係。
Personally, came in 2009 when he averaged 23 points, almost 3 steals, and 11 assists a game. CP3 is the true definition of a point guard. He's got everything you could want out of one. He's a team leader, he's a great shooter, great at the pick and roll game, he can score inside, mid-range, or shoot the 3, and cross Steph Curry. And he's shown that he can
Wow!
or play off the ball. So he's really a complete point guard. And as for Harden, he's slowly developed into one of the league's best players.
Okay.
And he's growing into an all-time great scorer. He's in his prime right now and is about to win an MVP. He's still got a lot of years left to go, but if he never wins a championship, he'll definitely have his own spot on this list in the future. Number 5, Steve Nash. Technically, Steve Nash does have a championship as a member of the Warriors team in 2017, but for this video, we're going to base it off of his playing career. So, Steve Nash is one of the NBA's all-time great, true traditional point guards. He had pretty much everything you'd want out of a point guard. In his career, he was a 5-time assists leader, a 4-time member of the
good move,
and a 2-time MVP.
Oh!
His real weakness was his defense at times. In his best season, he averaged 18 points, 10 assists, and 4 rebounds a game. Overall, though, his career had a slow start. He started out as a backup point guard in his first run in Phoenix, but when he got traded to the Mavs and teamed up with Dirk Nowitzki, he started to show what he could really do. But a few years later, when the Mavs weren't willing to match the Suns' offer for a new contract, he rejoined the Phoenix Suns. And he was teamed up with Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, and Sean Marion. And this is where pretty much all of Steve's career success came. The season before he re-signed, the Suns finished with a 59-53 record.
Ben
but after
Wallace.
signing Nash, they finished with the best record in the league at 62-20, which is amazing. And then 2007 was Nash's best chance at an NBA championship. Him and Amari both made the All-NBA First Team that year, and they were dominant on the court together. But after the infamous moment of Robert Horry shoving Steve Nash into the commentator's desk,
fuck you, bitch! Robert Horry.
Got Amari suspended for Game 5. The Suns would go on to lose their momentum, lose the series, and the Spurs would go on to win the championship that year. Number 4, Allen Iverson. No man stood in AI's way throughout his career. He could cross any defender
老實講，我覺得 AI 可以再高啲嘅。
and score on any team whenever he wanted. But his biggest enemy was himself at times. His insane and Hall of Fame career was clouded by his own off-court issues. At only 6 feet tall, he was a league MVP that led the league in scoring 4 times.
Wow!
He averaged over 31 points a game twice in his career. He truly led his team to the NBA Finals in 2010 with a group of guys that wouldn't have been anywhere near the finals without him. When they played against the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers, led by Kobe and Shaq, they stood no chance and lost in 5 games. He never had the best team, but he always made the most out of it. For the next 12 years after making the finals, Iverson spent his time putting up great numbers, but never being able to get along with his coaches or get the teammates that he needed. He tried to team up with Carmelo in 2006, but that never turned out as good as everyone had hoped. Number 3, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
Barkley was another guy
motherfucker. Charles Barkley 絕對唔係好 Allen Iverson， 話俾你聽，絕對唔會。
on the opportunity for a championship, thanks to the era of Michael Jordan and the 90s Bulls team. He was another member of the 92 Dream Team, an 11-time All-Star, and he won a league MVP in 1993. That season, he averaged 25 points, 5 assists, and 12 rebounds a game. He was one of the most dominant undersized players in the history of the league. And it all started when he was taken 5th overall by the 76ers. He was teamed up with Julius Erving and Moses Malone, and they were mentors to him for the first few years of their career. So by the time that they retired, he was ready to be an all-out star. He became the leader of that Philly team, but eventually he got unhappy with management and he demanded a trade. So he was traded to the Phoenix Suns, and in his first season was when he won the MVP and made it to his first and only finals appearance. He averaged 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists a game throughout the finals, but he still lost to the Bulls in 6 games. Number 2, Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor, oh my fucking goodness! Elgin Baylor 就係佢啱啱退役嗰屆之後，湖人就係攞冠軍啊！
Played all of his career in the 60s, but he's still considered to be one of the greatest players of all time, and even though he put up some incredible stats in his career, he was still never able to win a championship. He was dominant in high school and college, and he averaged 31 points a game for 3 seasons in the NCAA, and led the nation in rebounding for one of them. And then by the time that he got to the NBA, he was just as dominant. The Lakers went from the worst record in the NBA the season before Elgin was drafted into the NBA Finals in his rookie season.
Oh my God.
He averaged 25 points and 15 rebounds a game. In his first season, he changed the entire landscape of the Los Angeles Lakers. Baylor would go on to average 38 points and 18 rebounds a game in his best season, and 27 and 13 for his entire career. He was an 11-time All-Star and a 10-time member of the All-NBA First Team. And
我有種預感，第一係 Karl Malone and John Stockton。OK。
He led the Los Angeles Lakers to 8 NBA Finals appearances, but since he played in the era of Bill Russell, he lost every single time. And to make matters even worse, in 1972, Elgin Baylor retired close to the beginning of the season because his knee was constantly giving him issues. And the very next game was the start of the Lakers' historic 33-game win streak. And then the Lakers would actually go on to finally win the NBA championship that year. Baylor was still given a ring, but he's not classified as an actual NBA champion. Number 1, John Stockton and Karl Malone.
Oh my God.
I had to put these two guys into number 1 because they played pretty much their entire careers together and saw all of their major success together. We can start first with Karl Malone. Malone's got one of the greatest, most consistent careers in NBA history. He's the second all-time scorer in league history.
Yes.
And that's because he played in 95% of the games in his 19-year career. He played in at least 80 games in 17 of those seasons, and averaged 25 points a game for his career in the regular season and in the playoffs. He was another member of the 92 Dream
Karl
Team,
Malone.
a 2-time MVP, a 14-time NBA All-Star, and an 11-time member of the All-NBA First Team. And a lot of his success can be thanked to John Stockton, who was almost just as consistent as Malone. He didn't always play at as high of a level as Karl, but he played in all 82 games 16 times in his 19-season career. His best season, he averaged 17 points and an NBA record 14.5 assists a game, and then he finished his career out averaging a double-double with 13 points and 10 assists a game, putting him
good
as the
pass.
assist leader with 15,000 assists. That's 3,000 more than Jason Kidd in second place, and 7,000 more than the highest-ranked current NBA player in Chris Paul. He was a 10-time All-Star, a 9-time assist leader, and a 2-time leader in steals. So together, these two guys were one of the most dominant duos in NBA history. They had a historic pick-and-roll game that was truly unstoppable. They led the Jazz to the playoffs every single year that they played together, and their best seasons were the 97 and 98 seasons. They finished the 97 season with a 64-18 record, but lost to Jordan Bulls in the NBA Finals. And then the next season, they finished 62-20, but again lost to the Bulls in Michael Jordan's last season. They were one of the top 2 or 3 duos in NBA history, but they just couldn't get past Michael Jordan and the Bulls like a few of the other guys on this list.
絕對係。
So as always,
OK， 咁你同唔同意咧？呢個 list 我都幾同意啊。OK，Karl Malone、John Stockton 擺第一位。OK，咁你中唔中意呢段片咧？中意就俾個 like，下條片再見，拜拜。